All right. So many of you have had a ton of questions, specifically about leveling up your fighter and training camps. So what we're going to talk about here is how to have the most effective training camp. So you start your career and you get into the screen and you need to start advancing weeks, negotiating fights, and selecting a training camp. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So first things first, let's go over to the gym tab. We're in weight currently. So if we move to fight sharpness, we see that we're undertrained. We're at 30. So we leave the tab here. We'll go to the career hub and we'll advance week. As you can see, we've moved up to 35. Now we're up to 40 in fight sharpness. We're going to keep rocking and rolling with this until we get up to 70. 70 is the sweet spot. The reason being is you can't go above 70. Now, as you can see, we're definitely getting out of shape, but we'll take care of that. So we go up 65. Now we are at 70. Beautiful. Except we're a little chunky. We can't fight. So we're going to move back to weight loss. Now let's go back to career hub and let's advance weeks. We're going to keep reducing weight. We're going to go ahead and do this until we are in a good spot. Now what I like to do is I like to be right in the yellow, right after green or green. And I'll explain why during the training camp. And it really depends on how long your training camp is. So we're going to keep advancing. This takes a minute. We'll fast forward through the rest of this. Okay, so if we look here, we're in a pretty good spot. And the reason being is as you train, your weight is going to continue to go down and you don't want to be underweight, right? And you don't want to be overweight. We're max trained, so we're good there. What I like to do is get a little bit in the green. So we'll do one more here. Beautiful. So if we go back to gym, we're in weight, we're max trained, we're in a good position. So now that we're in a good position, let's go ahead and negotiate a fight. Let's see what we're looking at here. So we got a few options. This is a title defense. Now, if you don't have any belts, you can go ahead and hit X and do a manual opponent selection. Now, because I have a belt, I have a mandatory title fight. What I will say is you can continue to advance weeks, you can avoid title defenses, or if you advance a few weeks and you're not fully in shape but you're almost there, you can go ahead and open up a manual opponent selection and negotiate that way rather than having to do what's been granted to you here. Now if I look at this, I see a guy that's 66, it's a title defense, and it's for 113 grand. That's a pretty good price range there. The main thing to note here though is don't be fooled by the 66. Oftentimes you see 66 or 70 and you're like, oh perfect, this guy is super low, I'm gonna dominate him. What you don't realize is oftentimes this is them being out of shape or their fight sharpness isn't up to speed. So they look bad now, and then once it's time to actually fight, their overall rating will skyrocket. So be prepared for that. Now we're gonna go ahead and select him. We see him, beautiful. I think we fought this guy before. Yeah, we've beat him twice. So negotiate fight. Now, don't ever accept the initial offer. Just don't do that. Whatever you do, at least take your chance. We'll begin negotiation here. So what I like to do is I'm always aiming for the most money. I'll probably crank this up a little bit. We'll go 75. Arena, doesn't matter. Fight insurance. Now, this matters if you get a major injury or you're overweight. Well, we're definitely in weight for training camp, so being overweight probably isn't going to happen. Now, in terms of a major injury, that kind of depends on the camp you choose. There's a high chance you don't get injured depending on certain camps. One camp is like avoiding all minor injuries, things of that sort. It's totally up to you. I never choose fight insurance. I just don't. I'm willing to take that risk. So we'll turn that off. Let's go to training weeks. This is a big piece of it. Now, while you're getting charged part of your purse per week, this is how you actually just get more time to train and upgrade your fighter. I am always going to go for max weeks. I want as many opportunities to train as physically possible to keep improving my fighter. Rematch clause doesn't matter. I'm not doing it. Fight promotion. Now, this one's up to you. You can choose a lot, and personally, I would always opt for fight promotion over media activities, and I'll explain why. Fight promotion, it takes into your purse, but you do get a fame increase. You do want to increase your fame. Reason being is the more fame, the better training camps you're gonna get, the better coaches. Fame ties into a lot. Now for me, I don't care too much. I'll probably do a little middle ground here, 7%, whatever. I'm not going to do media activities. The reason being is that takes into your actual weeks of training. Now, if we find ourselves on the verge of being overtrained, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do media activities on our own. If we select media activities here, they're mandatory. We don't want mandatory. We want the option contingent upon how we're looking in training camp. So that's going to stay at a 0. Home fight, well, in my opinion, doesn't really matter that much. Now let's go ahead and attempt a negotiation. There's a high chance it's a no because of the purse cut versus the rematch clause. If you ever find yourself stuck in them wanting a rematch clause, just lower the purse cut. All right, he accepted. Beautiful. So now let's go ahead and select our training camp. All right, so you want to be smart with this, right? It depends on how much money you have. There's a sign-up fee, there's the weekly camp fee. I want to be loaded before I'm jumping into these level gyms. I can't even take these yet. However, Santiago is pretty nice. No minor injuries. It's fairly cheap. This next step over here in Technicolor, that's when you got a lot of dough. All right, you can't overtrain, which is an amazing bonus, but you're also risking spending a ton of money. So we're gonna go ahead and move with Santiago here. Guys, I'm not even kidding. I just went on this whole spiel about fighter insurance. I've never had a major injury, and then I got one as I was recording the training camp. So we're gonna go back to negotiating a fight, and I'll see you at the training camp. All right, we are back at training camp. Let that be a lesson. If you want the fighter insurance, you go right ahead, because now I'm a broke boy. So the overall gist here is pay attention to your energy, fight sharpness, and weight down there at the bottom. We have training, media, and recovery. So what we're going to do is we're going to train down to 50% energy. We'll keep recovering, and we'll just repeat. Now, if we're a little overtrained or our weight is drastically low, whatever it may be, we're going to go ahead and start running media. So let's take a look at training here. This is 20% energy. We'll go ahead and take care of that. We'll run another one. Training. We're at 60. Let's just do 10 to maximize what we can down to 50. Recovery is only going to bring you up 50. So let's go ahead and do this. Now we'll go ahead and recover. When we recover, our fight sharpness and our weight, our fight sharpness will go down, our weight will go up, but that's fine. We're going to keep training. And if we went ahead and advanced weeks correctly, dietary change won't really matter too much. We're going to keep repeating till we get down to 50 here. So be careful. If we drop energy, we're going to be down a little bit. We want to make sure that we're hitting 50 each time. So if we do this and another one, we can get there. Do one more 15, we're down to 50. See, now we're overtrained. We got to recover, hit the recovery. Now, if we train more, we're going to be overtrained. So what we can do is we can go ahead and hit media, do a little TV advertisement. Boom. We still got energy. Let's test our luck with a little more training here. Minus 20. All right, we're overtrained. We're going to go ahead and recover. And then let's hit one more media. Beautiful. So if we look at this, we are fight ready. We have 100% energy. Our weight is perfect. We have no injuries. We hit our media without having to make the media mandatory. So we have taken full advantage of our training camp. We train as much as possible while keeping our health in check, and now we're good to go. The overarching message here is when you hit recovery, you're only recovering 50 energy, right? So I just work down to 50, recover, and repeat. If you go down to no energy, your fight sharpness starts going up to overtrained, your weight's going crazy, you're risking injuries, you're risking not being 100% healthy for your fight. The way we've done this mathematically is we've capitalized as much as we possibly could in terms of training to upgrade our fighter, and at the same time, we've done enough media here to be in a good position. So what we're going to do now is advance to the fight and absolutely destroy the scrub. And we're going to keep repeating this. Now, as things go on, get a better manager. You will get way better fight opportunities, way better purse cuts, and at the same time, you have a way better likelihood of winning negotiations. This is the easiest way to stack money and the easiest way to get what you want. Get enough training weeks in, keep upgrading your fighter, and you're gonna level up in no time. Now let's see me wreck this kid. Oh! The flash KO. Oh! Oh my. Look at the dodge. The head movement is unmatched. No way. Wow. I didn't think that was the dub. Just like that, baby.